it's holiday season, right? So I'm driving home today and I'm thinking about, the parties are coming up, and I was thinking about, some tips, things that I've used that I wanted to share with you that may make getting through the holiday party a little bit easier, not completely derail you if you've been trying to be good, quote unquote, or, you just don't want to use it's party, party, party. You don't want to rack up 5-10 pounds during December, right? No, we want to get things so at least we're even keel, right? So a couple things that I've thought about, it's been like 4 years, you guys, since I've kind of been on this more serious health journey. Of course, it started, with coaching, but I've gone from a size 12 to like a 4-6 and stayed there very consistently for the past 4 years. And a lot of that's because of my consistency and having to work my way through some of these, holiday seasons. And so a couple of things that I have learned that I wanted to share, and I hope that they help you. But the first thing is you need to identify, my tree's going back and forth, you need to identify, like, what's your party trigger. Like, for me, I want that glass of wine. Maybe you're the one that beelines to the dessert table, or it's one of those, fancy holiday appetizers, the eggnog, one of those things that you're like, I gotta have it. So first things first is just quickly kind of identify what's your trigger point so you can sort of focus on, all right, that's the thing I need to pay attention to. And I think that's half the battle. You guys, I'm not about deprivation. I believe in portion control and having the treats, but in moderation. So if I'm going to splurge in one area, I got to think about how I'm going to clean things up on the other area. So, for example, for me, like I want that glass of champagne, or I want that glass of wine. So one of the things I do is, especially if it's a friend that I'm more comfortable with, even if not, I've gotten to the point where, maybe I'll bring over like 5 or 6 big bottles of sparkling water. So not only just for me, but to share. And I will kind of alternate. I'll put that sparkling water in a wine glass or in a champagne glass so I still feel fancy, but I can kind of alternate the adult beverage with some sparkling water. Club soda works really good for something like that too. So that's sort of the one thing that I kind of do for my big trigger point. If you are like the beeline to, you go there starving, number one, try to have some sort of healthy fatty snack. And the reason I say healthy fatty is because fats, number one, don't make you fat. Number two, they help to keep you satisfied and feel a little bit full. That's a great thing to do before you head off to the party. So maybe a little bit of cheese, some high-fat nuts like cashews. Those are great little snacks to get in your system. Oh my gosh, like an avocado, half of an avocado. Something like that would be fantastic to kind of give you a little bit, so you're not walking in there starving. But when you get in, number one, you're there to socialize. Don't forget that. You're not there to go stuff your face, okay? Even though sometimes the buffet part looks good and the food looks good, but you're really there to mingle, see some old friends, meet some new friends, right? So keep that in mind. It's not about stuffing your face. Socialize first. Make your way to, the food area. Take a look. What's something that that's something I'm going to have. Okay, what are some things that you're like, I can pass on, they're not that important to me? That's a good trick too, so that you can kind of save up for the things that you really, really want and bypass the stuff that's not so important. The other trick I love to do, let everybody else rush to the food. So when it's announced, come on up, guys, help yourself. Let everybody else go first. Kind of lay low. And the reason I like that is because we eat with our eyes, right? So you get up there and that amazing crab artichoke dip that's bubbly and crispy on top that looks amazing. If you got there first in line and you're going to take a big old scoop like I would do, well, if you're at the end of the line and it's the yucky parts at the bottom and everyone's kind of dug into it, it maybe doesn't look as appealing as it would have. So maybe you kind of trick yourself and say, yeah, it looks fine, but maybe that's not where I want to spend my calories, right? So this little things like that. The other trick that I definitely use is I tend to congregate in the kitchen. That's where I love to be. But if that's where the food is, take a step away, you guys. Don't be afraid to go mingle in another room. Maybe where the food is not staring at you. Especially here in Florida, we have, a lot of times outdoors is available to us. So just sometimes I know for me, a trigger point is if I'm standing next to the counter and there's 14 goodies there, I might resist for the first little bit. But as I'm standing there, they start tempting me. Step away, people. Step away. Have those not within your arm's reach. And that can be as simple as moving yourself to another location. And that's a good way to go mingle with some new people, too. You don't want to be the party person that stands in the exact same spot all night long and only talks to one person. No, mingle. Go out there, have some fun. My last little tip is always grab the tiniest plate available. Always. I do this at home, you guys. I would rather make myself have the decision to go back and get more than just get a big old platter and pile everything on. If you get the smallest plate possible, visually, you feel like you filled your plate, but only with a few items. When you get a big old plate, you feel like you need to fill it. At least I do. So take your smallest little thing. Once that's finished, throw out the plate. If it's a paper plate, put it down. If you are tempted to go back and you still feel hungry, you want to try something else, you want to have your little dessert treat, you have to be conscious of going back and getting another small plate. So it just makes it a little bit more conscious, and that's what we're talking about. Ultimately, you guys, it's just about paying attention a little bit. We kind of get in this rote. You might be talking to someone and you're just shoving stuff in your face. So you're not enjoying the food because you're having a conversation, and you're not really engaging fully with the person you're talking with because you're shoving food in your face, right? So last but not least, my tip is, you guys, enjoy yourself. It's the holidays. It's meant to be enjoyed. We're talking progress, not perfection. Don't go in there so crazed like I can't eat a freaking thing and I must not have put, a drop of alcohol on my lips. If that's what you enjoy, you want that little dessert, have the dessert. Just do it in moderation. That's all. You'll get through the holidays just fine. If you went overboard one day, take it easy. Make some salads the next day. Just take it easy. Balance yourself out for the week. One night's not going to kill you. Just don't let one night turn into the next day and the next day and the next day and the next day. So it's all about just making smart little choices along the way as best you can. And don't beat yourself up. It's the holidays. Have fun. If you guys have other tips that you'd love to share, please do. Comment below. I love to learn from you guys too. Everyone out there probably has their own little tricks and tips. So please share. They might help somebody else too. And bottom line is, enjoy yourself. Have an awesome freaking holiday and enjoy yourself at those parties. Have a great day. Talk to you guys later. Bye. It will turn off.